Good evening, yo. Day 3 of the NBA playoffs has come to a close, and we shall recap what is going on today. And as we will start out with the New York Knickerbockers and the Miami Heat. And in this one, Carmelo Anthony got off pretty hot. He got 15 points in the first quarter, practically carried the Knicks all that quarter. I mean, the second highest score after the end of one for the Knicks. Their second highest score was 3 points from Mike Bibby. So really, Melo, he brought his A game today, and he needed to after that dreadful performance in Game 1. But then, and then they kept it close during halftime. LeBron was actually kind of quiet the first half, but Dwayne Wade took over for what LeBron did not. Wade had about 19 at halftime, and Carmelo had about 21. But the second half, the Heat would prove to be too much. LeBron came alive. The Knicks had no answer almost, and they just could never get anything going. So despite Carmelo's 30-point performance tonight, it will not be enough to this day, as the Heat will take a 2-0 advantage. 104-94 was the final decision in Game 2. Game 3 will be Thursday, and they'll be at New York. In New York, where New York will not only hope to make it 2-1 on Thursday, but to end a playoff drought that they haven't won since 2001. Ouch. And that loss tonight also ties the record for most playoff loss consecutively. With the team they tie with is, oddly enough, the Grizzlies, who just lost last night, but beside the point. And now we go on to the other games, and we got Orlando, Indiana. This one was a little bit scary for the Pacers. I mean, the Magic showed fight. Big Baby Davis came alive, actually. He actually came up 18 points, 10 rebounds. He actually came alive today. That was actually impressive. But the Pacers dreaded them 30-13 in the third quarter, and that would be Orlando's downfall. And the Pacers will also come out with 3 scores with 18 points apiece, and David West, Granger, and Hill, also a 17-pointer from Paul George today. And the Pacers did what they had to do and come out with the win, 93-78 in Game 2 to even the series. And they'll take it back to Orlando on Wednesday night on NBA TV again. So if you don't have NBA TV, go to a bar if you want to watch it, or just don't watch it at all. Anyway, and last but not least, once again, the game of the night, the Mavericks versus the Thunder. Now, this one got a little chippy in the first, Dirk Nowitzki and Kendrick Perkins got a little scuffle in the early quarters, both of them getting teched up first. And then the Thunder ended the quarter on about an 11-0 run or something like that, and they got it out to an 8-point lead at the end of one. And then they started really taking over the game, but the Mavs, particularly Dirk Nowitzki, helped carry the load and get them right back in the mix of things, being only down 7 when they could have been down. Well, they could have been down 20 by halftime, but Dirk's 20-point first half, or around that, saved the game for what it was. And then on this day, Jason Terry and James Harden would be quiet for the most part. Terry only 13 points on 5 of 12 shooting, and James Harden had 15 points. I mean, I know 15 is pretty good, but he also had 10 free throws, and a couple of those were skeptical calls, but I'll get to that later. And then in the third quarter, the Mavs would go out in front. They would take a lead temporarily, and then the Thunder would head into the fourth quarter, and it would again go down to the final seconds where Durant gets a random call. I didn't necessarily agree with it. I'll say this: the refs were chippy on both sides in this game. I mean, they were way too chippy in this game. I'd say I'm one of those guys that says, let the freaking teams play. Come on now. It's the NBA playoffs. We pay, or we watch to see the players play, not the referees blow their whistles and stop the play in every given moment at a time. But there was just way too many calls. A lot of them, there was a lot of skeptical calls, to say the least, too. But I mean, at the end of the day, though, Oklahoma City managed to eke out a win at home again, 102-99. Will this come back to haunt them eventually? Will they eventually slip up? It will remains to be seen. But the Mavericks will now have to take Game 3, or they'll have to take care of business at home, starting with Game 3 on Thursday night on TNT. The final, I should mention some of the stats. Dirk ended up with 31 points, 6 rebounds. Kevin Durant had 26 points when 14 of those were free throws. Russell Westbrook had 29 on 10 and 21 shooting and 8 free throws. Wow. When I look at this, they had a combined 34 free throws. Those Harden, Westbrook, and Durant had more free throws combined than the entire Mavericks team. That's kind of, they got to slow down on these calls. I mean, Oklahoma City's been known to be doing this a few times this year, and I think they got to slow it down on what's a foul and what's not a foul. That's got to be decided real quick. Otherwise, it's going to be a lot more chippier, and someone's going to get pissed off. But nevertheless, the Mavericks down 0-2, and they will need to take Game 3 on Thursday night to stay in the series. And that about does it for today, and we will go to the awards. I would say the game of the day was Mavericks versus Thunder. The player of the day, I'm not sure. I say this is a toss-up, I would say Russell Westbrook with 29 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, or Dirk with 31 points and 6 rebounds. I mean, that's a tough. I'll make it a tie. It's a split between Dirk and Westbrook. Dirk with 31, Westbrook 29. I mean, they're both very similar stats. I mean, yeah. So they both of them credit for putting on another epic game and showing what the playoffs is about. The upset of the day, if there is an upset, I guess I would say the Thunder over the Mavs, because I personally have the Mavs winning this game tonight. But it is what it is. The disappointment of the day, I will say the Orlando Magic. I mean, after a Game 1 win, you come out and you're just chalking up 3-pointers, not even trying to go to the rim. It's just so predictable of a style of play, and their starters have no energy. I mean, the bench can't carry you the whole team. You got the whole game. You got to realize this, Orlando. If you want to make any kind of run in the playoffs, your starters were just dreadful, man. I mean, the bench didn't step up, and it showed for it. I mean, Glenn Davis played good. All credit to him. But the rest, it's just not working. Nothing really clicked. There's no energy. The defense fell flat in the third quarter. I mean, all credit to the Pacers. I mean, the Pacers really needed to win tonight. But the Magic, they're the most disappointment of tonight. So that takes care of that. And so with that being said, that will take care of day three of the NBA playoffs. And tomorrow I will be back to recap tomorrow's games, which will feature Boston and Atlanta Game 2, and also 2 other Game 2s, which include Philadelphia at Chicago, and Denver at LA. Can the Celtics even the series without Rondo and Ray Allen if Ray Allen sits out again? Yeah, for those who don't know, Rajon Rondo got suspended for Game 2 for that flagrant foul in Game 1 where he pushed the ref, which I didn't really think was that bad, but I don't know. They should. I don't think he should have got suspended for that. Fined, yes. Suspended, no. I mean, that's just weird. Oh, on another note, I would like to point out that Amare Stoudemire did injure his hand on punching a fire hydrant, and fire extinguisher, and so he broke his hand, and it remains to be seen if he'll play Thursday or not. But that's bad news for New York, a team that's already down 2-0 and doesn't need any more problems. But with that being said, be sure to check back tomorrow. Will the Celtics even the series? Will the young and the roseless Bulls how will they play tomorrow, and which Denver team will show up tomorrow. Only one way to find out. Trying to see the action tomorrow, and I will see y'all later. Comments below. Over and out.